Hi, my name's Ali. I'm going to be talking to you about a particular topic which I've seen Anthony Robbins share on a YouTube clip, and I would like to share what I have learned from that YouTube clip. It's called Your Belief Surety. Now, what I understand is that you need to obtain a compelling vision. A vision that needs to be able to pull you towards it. Not something that you have to push yourself to do. See, there's two different types of motivation. There's the push, which requires you willpower. And willpower never lasts in the long run. What does last, though, is the pull effect. Something which excites you, something which is so attractive, something which you desire so much that it's hard to sleep over at night. And it gets you excited and wants you to get out of bed in the morning to take you to the next level. That's what you're trying to create. But that's not easy to get. And one of the reasons why Anthony Robbins says he does seminars and events is because he wants himself to be put into that environment. Because when you're put in the environment, you put yourself in a peak state of mind. Now, he gives an example of watching a football game at home and watching the football game in the stadium. When you're in the stadium around 50,000 people, the level of intensity is completely different. The energy is completely different. The bottom line is that there's emotional intensity, and we feel that. So in a state of mind, you're going to come up with a different vision. So for example, on a New Year's resolution, many people make these resolutions and they do it feeling a little bit sluggish. They've been out on a night out the day before and they're kind of drunk and they want something and they say it half-heartedly and they ain't in the best state of mind. So they never keep to the resolution because the state that they're in is not a positive state. It's probably not got the power of focus or the power and energy that's going to pull them towards that particular goal. So it's got to have a vision that's compelling, something that you know that you're going to get, and it's going to be a gift when it happens. And also, you got to get the strong enough reasons why that you want to achieve it. Because when the going gets tough, that's one of the things missing for people. Because they say, this is what I want to do. But it's not very exciting, it's not very compelling. But most of all, they don't have strong enough reasons why. So, if the going does get tough, it doesn't push them towards, pull them towards getting them there. Getting them to achieve their dreams or get that goal when the inevitable challenges come up. When you're starving hungry on a diet, what you thought you were going to do doesn't happen or doesn't work, so you give up. Instead of finding another way to get there, you let fear to take over. So if your reasons are not strong enough, you're going to give up. Those reasons can be negative reasons or positive reasons. They can be like this. If I don't achieve this, this is what's going to happen. This is what it's going to cost me. This is how it's going to affect me. Or you can say, if I do achieve this, then these are the great things that will happen. This is what I will achieve. And this is how I would feel. So those are the positive. Now, I'm also going to be talking about the RAS. The RAS is the reticular activating system. It's part of the brain, what you notice in the world. It's important because when you set a goal, you set a vision, you get strong enough reasons why, you review them daily, it becomes part of you. The brain then says, anything to do with this I need to notice. E.g., for example, now, when you buy a car, a certain car, all of a sudden, you start noticing that car much more. Because the RAS knows this is what's important to you. It says this is now part of my world. So when you get a clear vision, which is compelling, and you have strong enough reasons why, and you review them daily, you review those goals daily, and you feel it, you internalize it, the brain becomes acute at noticing anything to get you moving in that direction. So coming back to the New Year's resolution, most people make New Year's resolutions. It's kind of what they want. It's not compelling vision. They don't have strong enough reasons, and they never review them again until it's broke. And what they say they wanted to happen didn't happen because they did not resolve. They did not get the vision that was compelling. They did not review their goals daily, and they did not feel it or internalize it or experience it through visualization. Ultimately, it's about raising your standards. If you want to change your life, the answer is very simple. Raise your standards. Now, what does that mean? Lasting change is different to your goals. You see, you don't always get your goals in life, but you get what your standards are. Think of it like this. Everybody gets in their life their musts. They don't get their shoulds. Think about this. Most people have a list of standards. For example, I should lose some weight. I should respond to my emails. I should get to the office more earlier. I should be more confident. But if it does happen, it's really exciting. But most people know it's not going to happen. They just think I should do it. But when you decide that should is a must for you, when you say I find a way or I make a way, then you raise your standards and you make that happen. You make a way. Think about your own life. Maybe you used to smoke cigarettes and you've been saying I should quit. Then one day something happened which tipped you over the edge. Inside yourself you said no more. Something inside you shifted. It became a must for you. And you never went back. Is there an area of your life you can think of? Did you ever smoke cigarettes, date certain people? Or maybe you drank too much alcohol. And one day you just said no more. And you just didn't go back. Notice this. It doesn't take any more willpower. Because somewhere we make a click. We make it a must in our priority. We attach ourselves to it. It becomes part of our identity. One thing Tony Robbins does say in this particular video clip is that he's noticed human beings follow through on who they believe they are. Like if you said, I'm going to try really hard to stop smoking, but I've been a smoker all my life, and you know I'm a smoker. Well, that mindset, you're setting yourself up to fail straight away because you believe that you are a smoker, so your days are outnumbered anyway. You'll give up for a very short period of time, but you're probably going to start smoking again very shortly after. So we are consistent with who we believe we are. Now, the strongest force in the whole of the human personality is this. There's a need to stay consistent to who we define ourselves as. Like if you define yourself as being really conservative, you're not going to be crazy and act nuts unless you really get drunk. Then you could say it's the alcohol, when really it's just you finally getting permission from yourself. The alcohol is just an excuse. Because if you're a crazy person, you act crazy and outrageous, playful all the time. You don't act conservative because it's not who you are. Very often people say, I can't do that. I'm not that kind of person. But think about it. When did you define yourself? How long ago did you come up with what you could and what you couldn't come up with in life? Most people live on a set of standards and beliefs that they got when they were very young, which are embedded in them. They are beliefs in their system, what the external environment has created for them. And what we're capable of and who we are as a person, it's a set of standards and beliefs. And that's the glass ceiling that controls most of us. Take this example as this metaphor as an example. The elephant in a circus has from day one been conditioned. It's changed down. It's trained. When it's not strong, it cannot fight. It fights initially, and it fights and it fights and it fights. Then it gives up one day. So as it gets older, it believes that this is life. It accepts it. It stops fighting. It thinks that this is what life is supposed to be like. You see, it stops trying altogether because it develops that mindset. This is who I am. And that's the way life is. So, look at any limitation in your life and ask, when did I decide to accept that limitation? You might not see it as a limitation. You might just believe that it's who I am. Often we have adapted to be a certain way so people like us, or so that we don't fail. We protect ourselves. You see, joy comes from being spontaneous. It's really hard to be truly happy when you're not being yourself. Most of us don't have a clue who we are. Now, Tony Robbins says that he does events to get people to be spontaneous, to do things without thinking, because that's when the real you shows up, when the energy comes alive. Then you connect with yourself and your true nature. You get more energy to set yourself higher standards, and you get what you want in life. Now, talking about standards, it's the shoulds versus must. Think of your own life, where it shifted. You just raised your standards, then your life completely changed. Whatever people have their identity attached to, they live. We live who we believe we are. Take a look at your physical body as an example. Your physical body is an absolute reflection of one thing, not your goals, not your desires, but your standards. One person defines themselves as an athlete, and that identity of that athlete is that I have to be strong and I have to have a physical structure that represents the belief and the definition of that athlete. Whereas another person may say that I'm overweight and I've been overweight for a long time, I'm big boned, and that's their definition of themselves. That's what they're gonna get. That's their standard. So in conclusion to listening to this video, I believe when you make a decision that you should make it a must, not just a should, and they need to be made in a positive state of mind. You are who you define yourself as. You need to raise your standards, and to change your life truly, You must get a compelling vision, strong enough reasons, and your vision has to pull you towards it, not something that you have to push towards. Because remember what Anthony Robbins said, that willpower never lasts too long. It has to be something exciting which gets you out of bed, that wanting it. So thank you for listening. I hope you can share this video, and I hope it's taught you something. Until next time, bye.